Good morning, everybody. It's fall in Gettysburg, and everybody loves all the changing leaves and whatnot. So we're gonna go. There's Eric Lindblade on a break during his bus tour here. What's up, Blade? So what we're gonna do is, you can see, of course, on the battlefield, there's leaves changing just like anywhere else, and it's very nice. But you really wanna go in that countryside, because that's where you get those nice vistas. And someday, if YouTube decides that they want to allow us to do landscape shots again on live streams on your phone, then maybe I'll be able to show it to you. Maybe I'll do one over on Facebook where they still allow that. But in the meantime, I figured let's come into YouTube here and see what's up. Hey everybody, hey Andy, Dustin, Dogface, Babra, Eric, hello everyone. So we're driving up Baltimore Street. Hey James. And we're going to go out of town via the Carlisle Road, and we're going to cut through parts of the First States Battlefield, and then we're going to go out Route 30 where we can see what we can see. Some pretty sights, I guess. We'll see. I don't know. And also, I don't know how good the service is going through all that area, so it might be spotty. We'll find out. That's just the way it goes. Good morning, Tom. Tom Canavan will be dropping in on Thursday's show. Town on the weekends in October is insane. The whole area is. Last weekend, it was like the traffic was like the way July used to be. So, yeah, it's nice to see. It's interesting how the ebb and flow of tourism has changed over the years, where it seems that October has overtaken July. I think a lot of it is because there's a lot of events going on, but there are a lot of events going on in July too, and I think what keeps people away is the heat. It's obviously much more pleasant here in in October. So I think that's what brings them, but whatever, as long as they come. Hey Cup, how are you? And fortunately, we're closing on our house tomorrow morning. Finally, I never want to ever go through that again. And it's not even over. There's unfinished business with the previous selling agent on the previous home. But we're not going to have to deal with that. The Attorney General will. And anyway, that's news. But the bad news is that will force me to have to miss. It's exactly the same time that they're dedicating a memorial bench on the square to our buddy Peter Carmichael, addressing Gettysburg contribute to, and I really wanted to go and see that, but you know how life works out sometimes. Thank you, Andy. Thank you. Phil is finishing up a cup of Little Ground Top. I was just in Vance Roasters talking about our next brand, or next whatchamacallit, blend, and it was a good conversation. Parents' weekend is at the college next weekend. Yeah. Congrats on the last house you'll ever buy. Oh, unfortunately, it's not going to be the last. But yeah. Any secret password at Bantam? No, because there's really not a big markup, and it's got to be split between me and him. So there isn't really a lot of wiggle room, unfortunately. But I've got some things up my sleeve that I'm hoping we can implement. We'll see. We'll see. Well, we have two ideas. So Andy says, will the new blend be based off of Dan Sickles? No, we have two ideas for the new blend. One is playing on the ground, using the word ground, and the other one is completely different. And we were working on the ground one, and I said, you know what? I think we should do this one instead, because if we do too many grounds in a row, it's like that guy at a party who tells one good joke and the rest of the night he just keeps alluding to it, trying to get that big laugh again, but he's just not that good, and get those douche chills. So I said, let's space these things out. I only want to do 3 when it's all said and done, a light, a medium, and a dark. And so the next one we're working on is a light roast. I won't tell you just yet. No, not hallowed ground. No. The other one, I think, I told him I think the other one makes more sense to do at this point in time, and it also, I think, would sell better. But it's a little more complicated because there's a third party that we'd have to involve. And so I got to see what this third party wants out of it and if it's even doable. But I'm also looking to wholesale it in 2025 in other stores in the area, because I talked to somebody who owns a gift shop, and they said, I've had people asking me if I have a Dressing Gettysburg's coffee. And I was like, really? And she's like, yeah, not a lot, but more, maybe 4 or 5. I was like, that's interesting. And she goes, yeah, and I didn't know what the hell they were talking about. And I said, well, clearly you just admitted that you don't listen to my show, so thank you. And of course, there's the typical business owner answer, which I understand, which is, who has the time for that? And that's true. But anyway, whatcha-hoozy there. Oh, so she said, do you have a way of wholesaling? Because I'd be interested in carrying it. And I said, well, we talked about it, but we weren't really sure how we would go about doing it, if they could meet the demand, et cetera, et cetera. So I'm going to revisit that topic, though, with them. And so that's what I did today. And so we're going to work, but that's not going to be till 2025. I got too much on my plate between now and March. So we'll get there. We'll get there. Eric says, next blend, bald-headed brew. Mostly sweet, but hints of bitterness and let's just call it Matt's brew. The girlfriend picked up some while in town. Oh, nice. Thank you, Paul. Thank her. Going to Gary Edelman's seminar in Illinois on Sunday. Awesome. Glad I watched the Dressing Gettysburg, or I wouldn't have known about it. Well, please make sure you remember when you sign in to let them know that you heard about it on Dressing Gettysburg, and they'll enter you to win your money back, basically. They'll pull your name out of a hat, and you better hope nobody else heard about it. But I'm sure it won't be a ton of people there from Dressing Gettysburg. But I'm glad that you heard it and responded and are going. And please let them know that, you heard about him on Dressing Gettysburg, and it was a smart idea for her to get involved with the show and promote it on the show. Andy says, I still need to acquire a stash of Little Ground Top. It would match my Antietam blend pipe tobacco nicely, I assume. Ooh, that sounds quite delicious, actually. So we have the what you call it there, guys. Come on, what am I trying to say? The Christmas party location is set. Now I am working on getting the sign up list, the guest list ready. And actually, I think I might have that available that I can share with the patrons at this moment. I have to check when I get back to the office. And then you can start signing up. It's December 7th, 6 p.m. A lot of you are going to be in town to take the guide exam. A lot of you are going to be, I don't know, you might feel good about yourself and you might want to party and blow off some steam. You might be feeling bad about yourself and you might want to just sit there and drink and cry in your beer. And maybe you're indifferent and you're just glad that the stress is over and, you know, it's in God's hands. Whatever the case, I want you to join us. Come on out, meet some really nice people. I'll also be there with those nice people, but not one of those nice people. And you can, you know, commiserate. Good, bad, or ugly, whatever. It doesn't matter. Come on out. It'll be fun. You might rub elbows with some of the guests that we've had on the show this year that you have enjoyed listening to. They might be there as well. So that's that. If you're a patron, look out for a post soon. If you're not a patron, I mean, come on, guys. 6 years in, seriously? All that free stuff you've been enjoying, all the blood, the sweat, the tears, the arguments, the backstabbing, all that stuff that the slings, the arrows, the permits that I've endured for you, and you're still listening to the free stuff. So much good stuff over there at Patreon. And I know this because they did a study, and 9 out of 10 bankers agree that your money is well being a patron of Addressing Gettysburg. And if you don't believe me, there's a free 7-day trial available for you right now at the second lieutenant level. Go in and explore. Every audio episode we've put up since we began is available to you for 7 days. Or you can buy individual episodes. And you could even buy, if I'm not mistaken, some ringtones, Alderson Broderson, for example, and whatnot. All right, so we're on Route 30. You know, the foliage isn't as colorful as I thought it would be, but whatever. We'll see what we got. It's still fall, and who cares? I still need to acquire a stash of little ground top. It would match my oh, I read that one. Yeah. Oh, by the way, Andy, you go to addressgettysburg.com/cafe and you can acquire your little ground top without ever having to come to Gettysburg. It's called 2024 and everything is done that way now. Where Gary at? Dat punk owe me $20. I don't know which Gary you're talking about. It's clearly not Gary Edelman because he spells his name with 2 R's. And I highly doubt he owes anybody $20 unless you had a bet. Maybe, I don't know. Ty Webb says, Grant wanted me to ask if you're coming out with a low-calorie brew in the future. I think coffee already is low-calorie. But what we should do is have a no-calorie... Spell it like my name. Got what he's doing there. Bunch of dump trucks going in here. I tried the, I didn't have the blue can. I had, which one did I have? I think it was yellow. Was there a yellow can? I don't know. I just grabbed one the other night with dinner and I popped it open and drank it. It was good. Whatever it was, I liked it. There's 2 of them in the 4-pack that gave me, Paul. I don't remember which one it is, but I liked it. I drank it and I liked it. Bribery says, I like their name there. Ouch, you're right. Yeah, no, I'm a spelling stickler, so sorry. Yellow was a lager. Yeah, that's what I had. I like the lager. I try to limit my beer intake to maybe 3 at most in a week. So I'm selective as to when I drink. That's the Whistler House first shot marker on the right. We just passed there. And now we're heading further out 30. When we cross this bridge, this is it's not the actual bridge, but it's where the bridge was that Archer's men were crossing when the first shot was fired. I think it's like some 700, 800 yards from where the first shot was fired. And you know, all these trees, by the way, folks, were not here. So you had a much wider field of view. You know, this is all farmland at the time, and trees were either in the way or needed for fences and buildings and firewood. And so it was a pretty sparsely wooded area here. What we'll do is we'll go to Cashtown, and then we'll turn off, go up through Ortana, over to Fairfield, and back into Gettysburg, and that should bring me to my lunch meeting. So that's what we'll do. What's something to talk about? Give me something interesting to talk. Oh, there was a dead cat in the road. James says, looking forward to my first Get Out of the Car tour this Saturday. Very good. Looking forward to seeing you, James. And thank you, by the way, for telling Will to contact me about getting involved with History Fix. He had mentioned it to me a couple of years ago, but I wasn't really producing anything video-wise at the time. So what we talked about, it's not set in stone yet, but all I have to do is sign the paperwork. But we are licensing the winter lectures from last year to History Fix, and then we will also show them on History Fix this year. So you'll get the full season of last year's winter lectures and the new ones this year, and they'll come out as they are released, I think. I don't know. We shall see. Your new house what, James? Or my new house what? What about it? Paul says, we made it to Antietam on Tuesday when we were in town to dodge the rain, but it was wet. Jim says, fantastic news. Those are going to be great to watch. Well, you could already watch them on YouTube. But yes, it will be great. And then I've got, other things that I got to make. But did you see the Northern Lights or did you see the comet? I did not see the comet. I didn't know about that. Damn it. I wish I knew about that. I saw the Northern Lights quite by accident. In fact, just before I started this live video, I made a post here on YouTube showing the Northern Lights, pictures that I took, and I was amazed. So I was coming home from somewhere. It might have been dinner after the show. When was that? Was that Thursday? I forget when it was, but whatever. I was coming home, and any chance I get, if it's on my way, I will maybe take a little detour and drive through whatever part of the battlefield is on my way. So I drove through like Buford Avenue, Doubleday Avenue, that area. And when I get on Buford, I'm like, I see these people all parked on the side of the road taking pictures. And I'm like, I was pissed because I was like, I got to get a permit for a video. And these idiot ghosties are here after dark. And then I get on Doubleday, and I'm driving on Doubleday, and I see just one guy in a pickup truck who didn't look like a ghostie to me. And he's out there taking a picture. And I'm like, what? And they're taking pictures of the sky. And then I go, oh, it's the Northern Lights. And I look at the sky, and with the naked eye, it really just looks like light pollution reflecting off of clouds. But I said, well, I know enough to know that, well, maybe I should just take a picture with my phone, because it's dark. The phone will automatically do a long exposure, and I'll see what's there. And sure enough, I did it, and I saw what was there, and it was beautiful. And it was amazing, because it's not what you see with the naked eye. And I didn't have to do any touch-ups or filters or any of that crap. It just worked, and that was pretty neat. So I shared that on our Facebook and our Instagram, and I just shared it on YouTube today. I forgot that you can do that on YouTube. So yeah, I did see it. It's pretty neat. Montana. I like that for a name, Montana. There's a movie where somebody's named Montana. Oh, is that Rio Lobo? Angle this a little bit so you can see a little to the side of the road. Tony Montana, yeah. No, but there's a Western where the character's name is just Montana. I think it's Rio Lobo with James Caan. I think that's his character's name, isn't it? It's Rio Bravo, it's Mississippi. Or no. Oh, I used to be so good at remembering things. Colorado. Thank you, Tom. Colorado. And then it's Ricky Nelson's Mississippi and Rio Bravo, right? Or is he Colorado? Who's Mississippi? Somebody's name is Mississippi in some John Wayne movie, I think. James Caan is Mississippi. Okay, there you go. All right, so we're turning here on the Ortana Road. Bravo is Colorado. Okay. Colorado. Dorado was Mississippi. El Dorado, that's right. That's the one with Robert Mitchum. All three are the same movie: Rio Bravo, Rio Lobo, El Dorado. Yeah, I know. That's why they're so confusing, because it's the same frickin' movie. Yet I enjoy them each. I mean, Rio Bravo's the best, but I don't know. I enjoy them. Have to get a so we close tomorrow and it's supposed to be at 10, and then at noon I have to go to the house and meet a wood burning stove guy, come and check the stovepipe and everything, and because we're getting one installed. There's a hookup for one, but the previous owner took it out and sold it. Why you would do that, I don't know. And I mean, you know, I don't know, whatever. And so I have to buy one. Those things are not cheap. I mean, you could get one on like Marketplace for a couple $100, but God knows what the hell you're getting, right? And a lot of them, the ones that are a couple $100, just a basic wood burn stove, no tax incentives, nothing like that. But with these new ones, there's all this highfalutin stuff in there that you get incentives for. So of course we're gonna get that. And I don't know. It's I'm looking for. I've always wanted a place with a wood burning stove, or a fireplace, preferably a wood burning stove. And I don't really care about the rest of the house as long as there's a wood burning stove. Eric says, make sure you schedule a hand massage to ease the pain of signing your name 2,000 times. Yeah, I know. I know, they said give it an hour. I'm like, how hard, why does it take an hour to sign papers? But apparently it does. Apparently it does. And I think I want to go this way. Nope, I didn't want to go this way. Well, we'll turn around first chance we get. Paul says, would like to ask everyone to lift scotch in memory of a scallywag World War II trooper, John, hold on, I can't see, there's a Primerano. Could have turned around there. Sorry, I'm trying to do 6. Headquarters 501st Y section, who on this day passed away in 2019. Could have turned around there. Let's do this. Okay. Actually, if you can learn Spencerian script penmanship, you don't get tired of writing. The grip uses the whole arm movement. So that's funny you mentioned that. And Andy, I went and I had a bunch of letters that other people had sent, and I finally had time a few weeks ago to go and write back to everybody. And I was looking for yours, and I can't frickin' find it. And I'm so pissed because I really wanted to get into that one and respond to that one. And this is where Debbie and questions work. And I'm in there. But what happened was, sent it, Bethany and Cindy came in and cleaned. Now, can we talk about the difference between cleaning according to a woman's standards and cleaning according to a male's standards. And then let's say also that this male is a creative person, and let's also say he's probably somewhere on the spectrum but just never was diagnosed. And to clean or to quote unquote organize without telling the person what the organization is, where things have been moved to, is a freaking paralyzing nightmare. Now, I'm not saying I don't appreciate them coming in and doing their thing. I certainly do. But now I don't know where your letter is, as well as a whole bunch of other things that I ended up just having to buy again because I couldn't find them. And then when I'd be like, do you know where the HDMI to mini USB cable is? And they're like, well, I don't even know what that is. I'm like, right. Exactly my point. So anyway, I'll find it, and when I do, I will take time to respond to it. But the other funny thing about that Spencerian shit is I remember in 8th grade, one time somebody was complaining about their wrist being tired from writing in class. We had like some essay or something, and the teacher was like, that's because you guys all write wrong. We're like, what do you mean? She's like, you use your fingers and your hands to write. She's like, and then we're like, well, what are you supposed to use? She's like, your whole arm. And we of course mocked it because, you know, when you're in 8th grade, you know everything. But that's what she was talking about. And that's how she learned to write. Never gets a cramp. Yeah, they still have chimney sweeps. People still have chimneys. They have to get them swept. Actually, okay, read that, Paul. Montana says, for 35 years, me and my old man used to watch all the Western war, airplane movies. He loved them. Yeah, me too. That's how I got into all that stuff, is watching them with my dad. And there's certain ones, you know, my dad's still with us, but I know that, you know, we all croak. And there's some that I know that after he goes, I'll never be able to watch again because it'll upset me too much. And one of them is Lonesome Dove. It's just that music alone. I pre-mourn when I watch that movie. And I know that, like, I'm like, when he's gone, I'm not going to be able to watch this movie. Yeah, I love that movie. Andy says, wish I could. I'm at work and scotch is frowned upon during work hours. Tom says, I'll have one extra for you, Andy. Eric says, hey, Mr. Canavan. Looking forward to seeing you this weekend. Andy says, appreciate you, Tom. Tom says, Mr. Canavan is my dad. I'm just Tom. Ty says, you sound like me having an argument about cleaning my room with my mother 30 years ago. Well, I don't know what it is, guys, who was I talking to the other day? Oh, I was talking to someone, and he and his wife they're separated, they're not, and he's been staying at his office. Now, his office is not just, he owns the whole building. He has it set up really cool. There's comfortable couches. There's even an apartment upstairs, so it's not like he's, whatever. But he's not even staying in the apartment. He's staying on the couches downstairs in the work area, and because they're comfortable. And I go, yeah, like, women don't get it. Like, guys can sleep on the floor. We can sleep leaning against a tree. If we're tired, we're sleeping. And it doesn't matter where you put us. We don't need all the comforts of home. And that's why, like, when there is a separation or divorce, a guy goes into a little apartment, because it's like, I don't have to, the landlord takes care of everything. I don't have to worry about anything. It's not a headache for me. I don't know. Yeah, whatever. movies for us were Always and The Notebook. I've never seen either one of those. Is Always the one with Robert De Niro? Now, here's something I want to warn you of here, folks. I do recommend you come to Fairfield, which is where we're going into now, for for a nice dinner sometimes if you want to avoid the crowds of town. But I suggest you come in and you set your cruise control at 25 miles an hour, take a nap as you go through town at that slow, ridiculous, mind-numbing speed, because they're cracking down on people speeding through. Now, clearly I passed some people that were speeding, so it must not be a speed catcher day or speeder catcher day, but I'm not taking the chance. And they know that it's people that are coming in from Gettysburg that zip through town here, so they're being a little more vigilant, and so I would warn you about that. But on your right here, we'll pass it on the way out again, is the Mansion House. That is a place where you should definitely come and try out, especially if it's a sentimental trip, I don't know, an anniversary or, something where you want to impress your funny little honey. Then, you take her to the Mansion House. Beautiful surroundings, the atmosphere, and of course, great food. They're coming on the show tomorrow, actually, ladies and gentlemen. The owners of the Mansion House, and it's an interesting, fascinating history. Of course, the battle is part of that history, and you won't want to miss tomorrow's AG Today. All right, we're turning down tracked road only to find a way to turn around and go back out of town. We'll go down this lane here, or street, whatever the hell it is, and here we go. Fairfield's a really nice little town. Very small, but very nice. And I recommend you come and check it out. A lot of cool little houses and porches. People really take a little pride in their porches. I love a good porch. Nothing I love more than to sit on a porch and just watch the town go by. Village Book and Table restaurant. It's a cool little place to go in for breakfast. Fairfield doesn't have a lot, and you're coming from Gettysburg, but it has just what you need, and then you got to go elsewhere for the rest. Gaudily painted house. I'm assuming that's got to be a protest from maybe the town saying you have to choose from only this palette. I don't know. That's my guess, because usually that's what it is when people paint a house like that. And now we're leaving Fairfield. There it is. There it is. Always is with Richard Dreyfuss. Okay. What am I thinking of with Robert De Niro? Yeah, Tom Canavan used a rock as a pillow. Exactly. Ty Webb says, I have movies with my parents. I think that way about 2. My mom has to watch Rudolph every year on TV. Can't miss the CBS broadcast. When she goes, I'll never be able to watch it. Well, I won't be able to. Yeah, any of the stuff that was a Christmas, like a holiday thing, like Rudolph is a good one, or Frosty the Snowman. I probably wouldn't be able to watch that either once they're gone. I have a hard time watching stuff that I remember from my childhood in the 80s, because it was, you see what a different time it was, and it's when you watch that old stuff, like, you realize that, it's not your father's Oldsmobile, and it's a shame, because, of course, I was a kid. So when you're a kid, God willing, you don't have you're not aware of what a shitty world it is. So you don't know all the things that you know as an adult, and so it's easier to think of things as the good old days and better times. Helped you keep that illusion or delusion. Now they don't. Entertainment doesn't bother to do that anymore. So you watch those old shows and it's like, man, things seem simpler then. And they weren't. There were people dying of drug overdoses then. There were terrorist attacks then. There were all the things that we have now. Crooked politicians. It was all there. You just, one, you didn't see it 24/7, which is a big difference. But also, like, I don't know, entertainment was supposed to entertain. It wasn't supposed to help you wallow in self-pity or misery or depression or victimhood or whatever. It was supposed to get you out of that, help you escape. So it's hard to watch those anyway, because I kind of mourn the loss of my country. But when it's stuff that I have, ties to relatives like my parents or my grandparents, that's even harder to watch. And then when they're all gone, it'll be pretty near impossible. What state am I in? I'm in Pennsylvania. This whole ride I stayed in Pennsylvania. We're in the Gettysburg area. I guess we're about 5 or so miles out of town now. I don't really know. We're a number of miles out of town. Fairfield looks just like Hanover. Damn your eyes, Tom. How dare you say that? That's not true. Okay, like one block in Hanover looks like half a block in Fairfield. But no, Fairfield is much nicer. With all due respect to Hanover, it's just Fairfield is surrounded by farms. Hanover was, but now the shopping centers. Thank God, because we need to go somewhere, and we don't want it in Gettysburg. Let's get around this garbage truck. Thank you for your service. Same thing, nostalgia usually kind of depresses me. Yeah, it does, exactly. And, hopefully in 20, 30 years, if I'm still around, that I'll look back on this time and go, oh, it was so much simpler then. I doubt it, but actually, no, I don't doubt it, because I'm pretty certain things are going to get really, really hard very, very soon. So, I'm trying to savor all this stuff now and try to remember it. But I can't remember what I had for breakfast, so that's going to be kind of hard. I miss the days when newscasters got through the news in 1 to 2 hours and then shut the hell up. Yeah, I did too. Well, they still do. Like, the local news is still an hour or two, right? Like, with the 5 o'clock and the 11 o'clock news, right? Isn't that how it goes still? I don't even remember. But on cable news, the actual straight news programs are 1 or 2 hours a day, and then the rest is all editorial bullshit. Montana is in California. Montana is in California. How does that work? Well, thank you for watching from California, Montana. Andy says, could be worse. We could have said it looks like Chambersburg. Yes, that would be worse. Tom says, must have been the block you were on. Well, maybe you were talking about the back alley there. I don't know. Whatever. Breakfast. You still doing carnivore, Matt? I am not this week because we're moving. So, like, everything's getting packed up, including my grill, which I can't live without. I could cook on the stove, I guess, with like an iron skillet. I'm like, you know what? let me just eat whatever is expedient because I got so much packing and all that other crap to do. So not this week. And I kind of have been like half-assing it. Like I'll eat carnivore at home, and then when we go out after the show or something, I might have a calamari or something with like breading or whatever. Or a beer. The beer's not good for that. But I have to. I tell you. So I had to get a little rectal router the other day, and I'm 46. You got to get your colonoscopies and all that stuff. So I did that. I felt horrible the day before, fasting and clearing out. It's you've been through it, I'm sure, because this audience skews older. So those of you who haven't, count yourself lucky, but you're going to get it there one day, and you'll love it. But I went to sleep. I woke up the next morning, and I felt like $1,000,000. I felt light as the breeze. I felt strong. I felt alert. I felt like everything I haven't felt in years. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, like even the carnivore isn't making me feel like this. And then I was saying this to the nurse inside, and she was like, oh yeah, no, your body is not meant to be in a constant state of digestion. And she goes, well, that's why a lot of people have success with intermittent fasting and they feel really good, is because you're not supposed to be digesting all day. All that energy going into digesting should be put to your cells repairing themselves or whatever. And I go, I've heard people for years be proponents of intermittent fasting and all that stuff, and they never explained it to me that way. I have never heard anybody say, and this may not even be true, she may be a cuckoo nurse, but I've never heard anybody say your body is not designed to be in a constant state of digestion. And we are. All day long we're eating, and all day long each meal has like the maximum amount of caloric intake that we should have for the day, it seems, or very close to it. And no wonder we're all fat and dying and pre-diabetic and diabetic and ridden with cancer, and because we're dying, we're killing ourselves. But it's so hard to not eat. Actually, it's not. It's easy to skip breakfast. But I have to get blood work done. Normal routine stuff. Here, we'll go this way. I got a little more time. And they want me to fast for 24 hours before this blood work. And so I'm not looking forward to that again. However, I know I can do it, and I'm looking forward to feeling good. The trouble is, you get so hungry that all you think about is comfort food. And so you think of pizza, if you're me. And so what did I do? As soon as I was able to eat, which wasn't until the day after the colonoscopy, they said to lay off it, eating solid foods for another day. So it wasn't until the day after. But the first meal I got was a goddamn pizza, and I hated myself. So there you go. There. Oops. Sorry, I just deleted somebody's message and I didn't mean to. Hold on, can I undo that? No. Oh, come on. I don't know who that was, but I was going to scroll up and I double-clicked the screen because of the bouncing of the car. You're between 60-second PVI. After the comment, breakfast, you still doing carnivore, Matt? Next one is the one I deleted. I didn't mean to do that. I'm sorry. Please repeat yourself. Montana says, I lived in Montana for 18 years, then moved to California. Ah, okay, gotcha. Carolina Threeper says, love addressing Gettysburg. Well, thank you very much, Carolina. Love you guys, too. Threeper, I'm assuming that means you're in one of those throuple relationships. Ty Webb says, does Montana know if Carmen Sandiego is in California? Ty, you're very funny. I bet, like, in person you're not. You know how, like, some people are funnier talking, other people are funnier writing. Some people are funny both. But I've often met people who are funny in writing, and then they meet, and it's like, you can't perform, like, and then it's a letdown. I'll bet you Ty's that way. I don't know why. Have we ever met Ty? I'm sorry if we did. I don't try to forget people. It just happens. Andy says cast iron works like a Blackstone if you know how to use a pro. Yeah, I do use the cast iron. I don't like using cast iron on the electric stove though, and that's what we have, and that's what we're going to. Gas around here, natural gas around here is not very common. I don't know why, but I found very few homes that had natural gas hookups that we looked at. But we were also not looking in areas with neighborhoods. Although, ironically, we're moving to a neighborhood, we weren't looking for that. But it's what we found. Is that when we did look at a house in a neighborhood, like closer to Gettysburg, there was gas. But even in Gettysburg, there's not a lot of gas stoves. So I don't like using cast iron without a flame. All right, and here we go with our obligatory view of Pickett's charge. I've got people behind me. It's a little busy here, so I'm going to just keep going. Tom Canavan says, think this is hard. Imagine living in a town of 2,500 and two armies slam into each other and you lose everything. Talk about hard times. Those, yeah, or you're still trying to piece everything back together now after that hurricane. Is anybody watching near there, or have any of you gone down to help or anything like that that can fill us in on like what it's like down there? Because you're not really getting a lot of, I mean, you gotta go like on YouTube and find people who are on the ground and doing their own videos to really get an idea of what's going on. But does anybody in here have firsthand knowledge? And he says, I believe it's also the title of a song called Hard Times as well, Tom. As relevant today as it was back then. Hard Times. There's a Ray Charles song, which I think it was a cover that he did. And then Clapton covered Hard Times. Both good versions, but I like Clapton's version better because of the guitar solo. There are towns named Indiana and California and PA. Yep. 660 BI. Ty says, I'll have you know that I got a live laugh from the one and only Jamie at the Doubleday tour earlier this year. Jamie Umstad? She laughs at everybody. She's very happy. That doesn't count. Andy says, sadly, no, I have no skills to assist with the recovery efforts, but I have been following the efforts over social media. Yeah, me too. And it's infuriating and sad. Ty says, nobody had hard times like Dusty Rhodes, though. Go ahead, sir. Enjoy your visit. All right, now, so I gotta head back to town, and I will do that. Just get this straight there, sorry. Tom says my toilet has hard times, flushed a blue pill, and now I can't get the seats. That was pretty good. That it's a couple different levels there. You had me thinking you were going one way, and then you went another. Little curveball. Montana, did you just stumble on this account by accident? I'm not saying anything disparaging when asking that question. I'm just wondering. Yeah, those are real. There are some fake ones here, but for the most part, they're all real. They are real to the Civil War, not necessarily to the Battle of Gettysburg. And there's many of them here, if you remember. But yeah, Gettysburg's very big as a battlefield. Do you know, like, we're in Gettysburg, right? What's your story, Montana? I get the sense that you're new to all this. According to Ralph Siegel, they have live rounds in them too. Really? Did he say that? Oh, okay. So you stumbled on it. Yeah. So we do a podcast about the Battle of Gettysburg, and then we also have a live stream show that we do every week. That's about Gettysburg today, all the businesses and events and people that there are for you to get to know. And yeah, so that's what we do. We're obsessed with Gettysburg, and it's a show by obsessed with Gettysburg people, for obsessed with Gettysburg people, and of obsessed with Gettysburg people. I've ruined the order there, but you know what I'm saying. There's a lot of words that I tried to get out there, and it was not as easy as I thought. And so forgive me if I mixed up the of, for, and by, or of, by, and for. See? Now I do. Yes, I am very new to all this. Okay, very cool. Very cool. No, that's good. I like new people because A, you're not sick of me yet, and B, this is all new to you. So it reminds me of why I got into doing this in the first place. It's to see that person go, oh, that's so cool, or something, and get really interested in stuff. Here's a mini golf course. I'll get you. You can see a little bit of, I think you got your little mountain there in the middle. It's coming along nice. Gonna have something to do for the young folk, for the families, besides ghost tours in a little while. Actually, I guess they're not going to open until next year, right? Who knows? Point is, they're coming. Yes, like Eric says, welcome, Montana. And that's a really cool name. So I hope that you get involved more in the comment section so that you can become a part of the show. We try to pull the interesting characters into the show one way or another. And I just want to be able to say, oh, look, it's Montana on the phone, or whatever. Matt is a lot like George Picket. We tolerate him despite his need to buy French perfume and joke with everyone. You know, you're right. Love the show, but gotta roll out, brother. All right, see you, Bri. Or is it Bri? Bri. I'm gonna say Bri. Because you said brother, so I'm gonna say it's Brian. And Montana, of course, like this video and subscribe to the channel, and make sure you click the notification bell, because you don't want to miss anything. Anything, Montana. You don't want to miss anything. Ty says, I had a good feeling about this guy. The Big Montana was always my favorite sandwich from Arby's. Exactly. I just like this. I've always liked the sound of the word Montana. Montana. Except for when you say it like that. But like any other way it's said, I just always like the way it sounded. Okay, so I've got to go and find parking for my lunch meeting. I think I'm going to walk, guys. I'm going to park at this studio and walk over, because that's the healthy choice, right? Right? That's what I'm supposed to do. That's the healthy choice. That's the smart choice. That's the heart smart choice. Unfortunately, I have to go also, but I did subscribe, and I will also ring your bell. Thank you, Montana. It was great meeting you, and I look forward to interacting with you in the future. You know, people like Montana are fun to meet, because you don't know where they're from, and it's a new story you get to hear, and hopefully it's not a sad story of Montana's life. But Montana's in California now, so can't be that good. We'll find out. We'll find out from Montana. Does Montana walk out his or her front door every morning and slip in homeless people poop? We'll find out. All right, guys, I'm parked. Got to start walking. I will talk to you guys tomorrow. See you tomorrow on the show. Tom Canavan will stop by, and the people from the Mansion House. Until then, I got nothing to say. Until then, check you later. There you go.